Hi, my name is Kareem Jones and you are watching Peppy Love You. And in this particular segment of En Vogue, this is the last segment, I believe. And we're talking about the Funky Divas, En Vogue. We're talking about En Vogue. We're talking about En Vogue. We're talking about En Vogue. We love them, don't we? We love these girls. Talking about En Vogue. En Vogue, En Vogue, En Vogue. En Vogue. We're talking about them, okay? En Vogue. And I ended with the last video discussing who could possibly be the one to get these ladies back together again, to get these ladies on one accord. And at first, I was thinking it would be Sylvia Rhona at the time when they were doing the tribute to her. And after thinking in my head, as I do, and after talking about all of the dynamics that I've talked about in this group, and by the way, all of this stuff is alleged. All of this is from a fan's perspective, someone who has followed En Vogue since 1989. Yes, 1989. 1989. Foster and McElroy, FM2 record, as well as their videos, Gotta Be a Better Way, in Dr. Soul. I had to apologize to Tommy and Denny. I had to apologize to Tommy and Denny because I said previously that I was always getting tired of Terry and Cindy talking about their producer, Thomas McElroy and Denzel Foster. And then with what came up about them possibly being signed with Universal Motown and Rodney Jerkins being over there and possibly wanting to work with En Vogue, they had a deal on the table, and allegedly Maxine said in an article that one of the producers was like, well, before I see this group successful without me, I'll break it up. How he was going to do that, I don't know. So he probably had more pull with Terry and Cindy, even if they don't have full creative control because they're not signed to the production company. But it sounds like Tommy and Denny has some say-so when it comes to Terry and Cindy and their decisions. And Terry has always said that she has always listened to Tommy and Denny because they created the group, they know their voices, blah, blah, blah. And Tommy and Denny have been responsible for Amanda Cole joining the group, who then eventually left, as well as Rhona Bennett being in the group. So do they have a lot of say-so? Obviously, they still do. Now, I also made mention that I think from a creative standpoint, and myself being a creative person, yes, I can see Tom and Denny saying that, and yes, I think Tom and Denny need to be respected in that regard. And they came up with the concept. They came up with the idea. They chose the ladies. They said what they said about Maxine possibly not being the lead one. One of them eventually dated Terry. Cindy, if you watch the En Vogue podcast, the Funky Divas podcast, then I think it was Denny who said in the video, in the interview, like, we don't care if Cindy can sing or not. We want her in the group just because she looks good. So they had every right and every say-so to take it from a 3-member group to a 4-member group. They held to their guns when it came to Sylvia Rhona for the Born to Sing and the Funky Divas record. So, allegedly, Sylvia Rhona didn't like those records, but Tommy and Denny held to their guns. Tommy and Denny held to their guns when it came to the ladies of En Vogue not signing with Universal Motown because it was a possibility that they could be successful without Tommy and Denny. Terry and Cindy seem to always listen to Tommy and Denny when it comes to what members would be in the group. Choosing producers on the record, right? So that brings me to Tommy and Denny. You are the ones who are responsible. If we need to get the ladies back together again, it's not going to be a group chat. It's not going to be the En Vogue Craze Facebook page or any comments that's made, is going to come down to Tommy and Denny. Here's what I would say to Tommy and Denny. I would say, Tommy and Denny, and I would say to the ladies of En Vogue, you still have yet to really and truly leave your mark in the music industry. We still are looking forward to the possibility of a reunion, and we will go out to the concerts, shows. Well, we're in a pandemic right now, but you know, we would, whatever it is that you're on or whatever you're doing, we would stop and we would go there, probably by the droves. I know that I will, because I am a diehard En Vogue fan. As a matter of fact, with me just talking out of the top of my head about some things, that lets you know I'm really and truly a diehard En Vogue fan. And the things that I've said in this video, I've only said it just because of the things that have come up, and just kind of pulling together what I believe probably actually happened, although some of the things, probably none of it is actually true and probably the way it happened, but I can only believe that that is the way it happened. I think Denny need to, here's a couple of things that they could do. Tommy, Denny, you can call the ladies up. You can say, all right, ladies, we need to really sit down and we need to have a heart-to-heart. If you guys have sat down before, you're still able to do it again. Even if you sit down to agree to disagree and maybe say whatever words you want to say towards each other, and then you get up and walk away from the table or whatever the case may be. It seems like the ladies of En Vogue and Tommy and Denny, you guys at least are reasonable enough to sit down to at least try to give it another shot. And I think that Tommy and Denny, what you probably need to do is you need to sit down with these ladies and say, you know what, ladies, we need to do this right. We need to make it right. First of all, Tommy and Denny, as producers, you have not been given your rightful due into what you have contributed to the music industry. Again, you could have possibly been in the held in the high echelons of a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis or L.A. Babyface or Teddy Riley. And I'm not just D-riding, if you will. Like, I really like your guys' productions and all of that stuff, so I know that it is possible. You do great work, especially when you are in sync with En Vogue. Whatever the case may be, it's not about, I think one of the ladies said, I think Dawn was saying, well, these guys gave us our biggest hit, you know, of our careers, Don't Let Go Love. That might be the case, but yeah, they gave y'all the biggest hit. But Tommy and Denny have given you two multi-platinum albums. If that's four, well, altogether 6 #1 hits, but that's 4 top 10, top 5 singles. My Lovin' You're Never Gonna Get It, Giving Him Something He Can Feel. So you guys have about, what, 6 top 10 hits, top 5 hits? Yeah, okay, it's the same thing. I'm trying to put all the numbers in my head. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, ladies and gentlemen, you need to sit down and respect each other, is what you need to do, okay? You need to sit down and respect Tommy and Denny for what they have brought to the group. You're wiser now. You are. Ladies, you are wiser now. You have to respect Dawn. You have to sit down and you have to respect Dawn and say, Dawn, you're absolutely right. We do need to get paid. We got to get paid. Tommy and Denny, you have to sit down and you have to stop and you have to say to yourself, yeah, you're right. You do have to get paid. And I know the amount of money that could possibly, you guys could be asking for, could probably make Tommy and Denny go, ouch. But the ladies are worth it. They really are. Now, in this day and time with, you know, record sales being the way they are and how things are made, I don't know how that deal could possibly come together to make it, but it's a deal. So you need to respect Tommy and Denny and what they bring to the table. But Tom and Denny, you also need to respect these ladies. You need to respect these ladies as far as you chose these ladies for whatever reason to be a part of your concept, a part of your ideas. And for you to just throw these ladies to the side like this or split them down the middle, that's not good at all either. Because what have you accomplished? Really, what have you accomplished? Because we can easily look at it like this. No, I've said in previous video, in other videos, yeah, En Vogue is a thing, and no other girl group can compare to En Vogue. We know that. None of the girl groups now, they realize before we go out here and try to compete with En Vogue, or before we try to diss them or whatever the case may be, that would be career suicide. So what we need to do right now is just get in our own lane and let En Vogue be En Vogue, because there's just no way we're going to compete with that. And you guys need to respect that part of En Vogue. Ladies, yes, Dawn and Max can easily say yes. You guys are probably the ish, Terry and Cindy, and you probably thinking, and you may have more of that pop appeal. Our leads are on the biggest selling album of our careers, not yours. But then Terry and Cindy, you can say, well, that might be true, but we're on a platinum record as well, singing lead. You see, do you see the back and forth? All right, I think it was Denny who said in the Funky Divas podcast when he was describing each of the ladies' voices, he mentioned something about Max's voice being like it was straining or whatever the case may be. That might be true, but you chose that. And you chose to make her the low part in the group. And as a result, her sound is missing. It's her sound. It's Maxine's sound. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's Maxine's sound. No, you guys don't sound like En Vogue without Maxine. She's the missing link to it. So here's what I'm saying, Tommy and Denny. Do right by the ladies. Do right by the ladies. Do right by the ladies. And if Tommy and Denny can pull these four ladies together to make it be the supergroup that it is and the supergroup that it could possibly become, then there is room for Rhona Bennett in that. I know some of us don't want to see that fifth member in the group because, I mean, for me, I would be like, I don't know, because when I saw them personally with me, when I saw them, I was like, that's a lot of people on that stage. You know, I almost looked like Spice Girls. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know how y'all gonna do this and make this look. It just looked too cluttered on the stage. But at the end of the day, here's what I'm saying, but you made 4 work. So you can make 5 work. You looked at Maxine, you heard Maxine's voice and said, you know what, it's going to fit better over here. That's what I'm saying. So if you can do 4, you can do 5. You can put these 5 ladies together. And if you just so decide not to do that, that's okay. That's okay too. That's why I titled the video, an En Vogue reunion, give it up, turn it loose, because I've given it up and I've turned it loose. I'm just deciding, because of all this going on, and I don't know if I ever would get the opportunity to talk to you guys about it, because I would love to sit down and talk to you guys about it, but not about this, but about your careers in general, especially Tommy and Denny, because I am so glad, I keep saying it, that I was able to see you guys on that podcast, and I don't know why you guys don't come out and talk more. You need to come out and talk more. I don't know why you're on the sidelines with this, and I'm just saying in general, but I'm interested. And if you have worked on other things, then I might need to look you up, because I really followed you guys back in the late 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, when you was working with, I believe it was like To Be Continued and Nation, I think Funktation and so on and so forth. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say that you guys still can possibly leave a big legacy with En Vogue. And if not, that's fine. Go your separate ways. I know I have. And if not, here's what I think could be a remedy. This is just me. Call Dawn up. Say, Dawn, we know how you feel, man. You know, we know we've heard you on your podcast. We hear you. Let us make this right. Let us put together the record that you never got the opportunity to record. I mean, let us put together that record. And maybe Terry won't be thrilled. That's Terry's issue, right? But you guys owe Dawn that much to put together a record for her, because she really deserved to have had the opportunity to work and record with you all. And for whatever reason, think about it, it has not worked with other producers. So maybe it's you guys who can really truly, because you know her voice, you know what she's capable of. I mean, you have given her some really big hits. Like, we can't put, that's what I'm saying, we can't push you aside, Tommy, and then say that you have not produced some big hits with Dawn Robinson. And I think the same thing with Maxine. If you can't get these ladies together, then I think Maxine is over there working on some music herself. Max, call her up. Tommy and Danny, call her up. Say, yo, Max, we hear you working on a record, man. Let us do this. Let us put this to side. Let us make it right. We can at least do that much. If we can't do anything else, I think we can pull out some hits for you. I think we can, because at the end of the day, it is about making money. And put your differences to the side, at least enough to make some money. On that note, I think I'm done. I don't think I have anything to say, and I've been talking for a while now, maybe 2 or 3 hours. But you know what? It was well worth it, because I have had the opportunity to talk about a group that I have admired forever. So, on that note, my name is Kareem Jones, and you're watching Pepe La View. Thank you.